Hey guys, welcome on to another episode, Getting Well with Terry and Friends, Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Of course, Thursday, smaller MLB slates, and a couple games have already started. The Baltimore Orioles currently leading the Miami Marlins 1-0. And then the game that I have action in, the San Diego Padres against Washington Nationals. Bases loaded for the Padres, two out and then a rain delay. So, unfortunately, I'm hoping that that's not too long of a rain delay, because otherwise, it's possible that Patrick Corbin may not come back out, depending on how long the rain delay is. So, we'll have to see exactly what happens with that. But we'll start the show off as we usually do, taking a look back at what happened yesterday on the show and my premium plays as well. Um, Starting off the day, Ellie De La Cruz over 1.5 bases, a nice winner there. He got six, including a home run. Oakland money line, my only premium play of the day, unfortunately, was a loser. The Athletics couldn't get it going against Hunter Brown. The Houston Astros getting the win there. Brent Rooker over 1.5 bases was a loser, plus 150. And then Lawrence Butler over 1.5 bases, plus 150. That was a winner. Him getting a double in the beginning of the first inning. And now we'll go to the thank you segment of the day, and we'll see who's going to get it today.
High drive to left. And it is another home run for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. His fifth in the last 6 games, and it is 2-0 Blue Jays.
Doesn't matter what you throw, doesn't matter where you throw it. Rodney is all over this breaking pitch from Eflin.
Vladdy is feeling it right now with yet again another home run yesterday. Bear with me here as I bring up this. Bring up the record here. Vladdy over 1.5 bases, plus 110. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. home run plus 525. A nice winner there from Vladdy. Tyler Fitzgerald over 1.5 bases, a winner plus 260. He only got a double though, so unfortunately his home run streak did come to an end. Teoscar and Shohei Ohtani both did not even get a hit, so that was a bit shocking. Robbie Ray was fantastic in his season debut. And then, as I said, of course, Fitzgerald home run streak comes to an end. But another winning day, up 1.58 units on the day. So can't complain about that. Overall, up 8.07 units since last Friday. So things have been going really well, really since the All Star break, and want to keep it going here today. Jump into the chat here. Justin's play of the day is already playing. Henderson over 1.5 bases, minus 103. Hit the like button. Thank you. And you'll catch the show in an hour. Awesome. Morning, Terry and friends. Morning, Tim. Hope all is well. But we will talk about today's slate. Of course, baseball, and then we'll get to CFL. I'll have my power rankings and then break down today's CFL game as well. Dun, 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 dun. Of course, not a whole lot. Let me bring it up here. Not a whole lot of plays to go over. Of course, a couple have already started, but I'll kind of breeze through these games here. Tigers and Guardians. Holton on the mound for the Tigers, which was just announced. Gavin Williams on the mound for the Guardians. Ultimately staying off this one here. Both of the Detroit players here kind of cooling off recently. And then these are not correct because we have a different pitcher starting. So both of these players, again, playing well, but not quite consistent enough for me to take them. So this game was an easy pass to kind of start off the slate. Only 8 games today. So again, smaller cards, but it's been working. It's been winning days. One losing day since last Thursday, since last Friday. Again, I don't bet White Sox games for the most part, especially player props here. Jonathan Cannon on the mound for the White Sox. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Texas Rangers. Simeon, the current hottest Texas Ranger, is not really hot enough for me to take him. Multiple bases only in 3 and 9. So he's getting hits and he's getting hits consistently, but not props that I can bet. So Luis Robert Jr. He got a home run yesterday. He's been a consistent White Sox player. Look for him to get traded most likely. Um, he would obviously welcome a trade with a post earlier on in the season asking for better things, and he didn't go right out and say it, but he was praying to God that things would get better for him this year. So he wants a trade out of the White Sox, but out of Chicago. But who wouldn't? They're just awful, awful. My play of the day is Oakland team total over 4.5. Okay, okay. We'll get to that game here at the end of the MLB here, but I was kind of looking at the over in that game. Ultimately, didn't get to it. My only premium play of the day in MLB is in that San Diego game, which already started, and I'm going to give out my CFL play. So no plays today for purchase. Tampa Bay Rays and Toronto Blue Jays. Of course, you can. My card is probably pretty predictable today. If you guys have been watching the show on a daily basis, you pretty much know what's coming today. But Tampa Bay Rays, Randy Rosarena, the hottest Tampa Bay Ray right now, does have pretty good numbers here against Chris Bassett. 6 for 14, 3 doubles, 1 home run. So if you're looking for a Tampa Bay Ray player, I would look at Randy Rosarena. But for me, it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Once again, over 1.5 bases for a half unit. And I did go with the half unit on the home run today instead of the quarter unit in this one because lighter, not as many plays. So I decided to go with the half unit here. A home run in 5 of his last 6 games. Vladdy has been hot. He's 3 for 8 with 1 double and 1 home run against Taj Bradley. Now, Bradley has been pitching very well. So that's the only thing that kind of makes me a little bit nervous. But he may be pitching well. Vladdy's hitting well against everyone. So sticking with Vladdy props. Not taking Springer. He's kind of cooled off the last couple of games, although he's 4 for 8 against Bradley with 2 home runs. So Springer has also seen Bradley pretty well when they faced each other. But Vladdy props. Not getting off now. Not until he goes cold, whenever that is. Hopefully not for a while. Hello, Terry and friends. Hey, Addison. How's it going? Nice winner there with the walk yesterday with Fitzgerald. I got my over 1.5 bases, which was a nice winner as well. So we're both happy in that one. Speaking about Tyler Fitzgerald, here we go. Yes, we're going right back to home run. He's got a home run in 5 of his last 6 games, a quarter unit on that, and over 1.5 bases once again. 6 games in a row with multiple bases. Only got a double yesterday, but that cashed us the over 1.5 bases prop. He is 1 for 4 against Clayton Kershaw, and that one hit was a home run. So we're going to hope that Fitzgerald can do it again. Of course, when he did face Kershaw, he was not hitting the ball as well as he is right now, because this is the best we've ever seen from Fitzgerald in his short MLB career. So I'll take him for a home run and over 1.5 bases here against Clayton Kershaw, who most likely is probably going to be a bit rusty here. But as we saw with Robbie Ray, maybe not. Robbie Ray was great in his first start of the season and back from injury. Hernandez, nothing yesterday. Ohtani, nothing yesterday. I'm not betting either of them today, so we all know what's going to happen most likely. I will see them get on the board, but facing Logan Webb, I just don't really want to take any Dodgers props, so I'm not gonna. Freddie Freeman, Gavin Lux, both doing well as well, but as I said, no interest in Logan Webb props, but we will once again go right back to Tyler Fitzgerald for the Giants. Atlanta Braves are facing the New York Mets. Here in this one, Chris Sale on the mound for the Braves, Luis Severino on the mound for the Mets. Chris Sale didn't have to pitch last night in the doubleheader. Of course, the second game getting postponed. So Chris Sale starting this game. The Mets coming off sweeping the Yankees, which is always a big deal for the Mets playing the Yankees. Now, I would say that this could be a potential letdown spot for the Mets, but they're facing the Braves. So it's not like they're facing Texas or um, Cleveland or someone or Toronto or someone like that. They're facing a division rival that they obviously hate. So I don't know if the letdown spot really happens here for the Mets. And when it comes to players, Braves players have had success against Severino, and Mets players have had success against Chris Sale. So, despite two good pitchers on the mound, we do have some batters that have had success. So, Marcell Ozuna, 2 for 3 with the home run against Severino. Jared Kalenic, 1 for 2 with the home run. Travis D'Arnaud is 1 for 3 against him. Jose Iglesias, 11 for 33 with two doubles and a home run against Sale. McNeil, 2 for 3 with a double. And Lindor, 13 for 31, two doubles and a home run. So you could look at some player props here if you wanted in this game. Ultimately, I didn't get to any, but there's definitely some possible good spots here in this game. For any batter prop I take, I've been at least looking at the walk stats and walk prop price. Lottie walk plus 170, Fitzgerald plus 225. I hate the last thing I want to see, Addison, is a bunch of walks for the player props that I'm betting. So that's not what I want to see is walks. Because when you're betting total bases or home runs, props, and stuff like that, you don't want to see walks. You want to see strikes. You want to see them try to hit the ball, not get walked. So I would wish you luck, but um, as long as we both win, but yeah, yeah. There are guys you could look at for walks that do get walked a lot. I know Aaron Judge is one of them, obviously, and high profile players like that. So Vladdy might be a good option, but he seems to hit the ball a lot. Final game of the night, of course, short 8-game card. Ross Stripling on the mound for the Athletics, 1-9 with a 5.82 ERA against Kenny Rosenberg. He's only pitched in 2 games, 0-0 with a 6.3 ERA. Of course, as I said, I was looking at the over in this game. I don't like trusting the Angels' bats for an over. So ultimately, I'm staying off this game at this moment. Lawrence Butler, I couldn't find his props earlier today, so I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I can't find any injury news, or at least I couldn't when I looked earlier. Let me see. Let's see if there's any news about injury. No. So I don't know why his props aren't available when I was looking. So that's why it's in pink, which means waiting. So we are waiting. And if he's confirmed or if his props are available later, multiple bases in 8 of his last 9 games. So definitely something we've been betting. Won't jump off now. 1-for-1 against Rosenberg. Of course, only 1 at bat. So not a big sample size, but it was a hit at least. Zach Neto, Mickey Moniak, Joe Adell. Not many at bats at all, but no success against Stripling. As I said, I lean with the over, not getting to it. We'll be looking at Lawrence Butler over 1.5 bases if and when he's confirmed here in this game. Insurance. I guess so. But Fitz this series versus the Dodgers walks to 1-1. There you go. There you go. So it is worth playing, even though it's the last thing I want to see. But hey, it happens. We will move on along to the CFL here. Let's see, Vladdy versus Tampa Bay 1-1. So there you go. There you go. But we will go to the CFL. And of course, as we usually do, we start with the power rankings. And there's some movement up and down my power rankings this week. So things are not the same as last week. Of course, left side closest to me is this week's rankings, and then the right side is last week's rankings. So Hamilton Tiger Cats, who have been dead last in my power rankings for quite a few weeks now, moved up a spot here this week. Edmonton Elks moving down a spot. Reason being, Edmonton Elks continue to lose games. Yes, they have kept a lot of games closer. Hamilton has got beat up in quite a few games, but Hamilton able to beat Toronto last week. These two teams face each other, so we will go over. Is that game on Sunday? So we actually won't go over it, but maybe I'll touch on it on Saturday. But interesting, Edmonton is favored by 3.5 points at home when they're the worst home team in professional sports. You guys know I'm taking Hamilton plus 3.5, and maybe even the money line as well for the Tiger Cats on Sunday. Going next, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They've just up and down, up and down, up and down my power rankings all over the place all season long. Starting this season off at number 1. Right now they're at number 7. They're kind of all over the place for me. They're just all over the place. So we'll see what happens with them. Toronto Argonauts. I moved them down another spot. Losing to Hamilton is a very bad loss. This Argonauts team gives up a ton of points. Their defense is pretty awful. And 3-3 on the year. Definitely not the same team as last year. We've seen that. Ottawa Redblacks. I moved them up to 5th here. And you know, a lot of these teams here in the middle are pretty close. So it's not a huge difference, but Ottawa at 4-2, finding ways to win close games right now, unlike other teams below them. So they are currently in 5th spot. And Calgary, who I had as the lowest team in the CFL starting when we started before the season started, but they have played much better than I expected and a lot of other people expected. I have them in 4th, but it's a pretty big step off from 3rd to 4th. So the top 3 teams in the CFL are, in my opinion, by far the best 3. And then there's quite a bit of a drop off after that. In 3rd, Saskatchewan Roughriders have been in 3rd for quite a few weeks now. Montreal Alouettes, yes, they're off a bye week, but I've not liked what I've seen from them the last 2 weeks. And of course, now Cody Fajardo is injured on, I believe, a 6-game injured list. So he is going to be injured for a while. Ultimately, that moves Montreal down to 3rd. And as I said, big changes in my power rankings this week. BC moves down to 2nd, and I've moved Saskatchewan Roughriders into number 1 on my power rankings. And I know that a lot of other CFL cappers are going to disagree with me on that. But how I look at it, Roughriders defense is great. Offense is good enough. Coaching is excellent. I love a lot of things about this Roughriders team. And they are winning games without Trevor Harris, which is great for them because he's going to be coming back soon. And that just makes them better. Yes, BC did beat up Saskatchewan when they faced a couple weeks ago. So some people may say, well, why do you have BC at 2nd? I don't like BC's game last week against Calgary. BC has looked extremely dominant at times this season. but they have not quite done it consistently. Saskatchewan, one loss in the season, of course, but they've looked consistently good each week. So right now, going into this week, the Saskatchewan Roughriders I have as number one in my power rankings. And it just so happens that that is the team we're going to be discussing in today's game. And of course, I'm giving out my premium play here in this one. So Saskatchewan, Montreal, both 5-1. Of course, you can probably guess where I'm going here. Obviously, moving Saskatchewan up to number one in my power rankings. The Rough Riders covering plus 3.5 in 5 of their 6 games this season. Montreal covering 3.5 spread in 4 of the 6 games this season. Both teams trending towards the over. Saskatchewan over 48.5 in 5 of 6. Montreal in 4 of 6. Saskatchewan averaging 27.83 points a game, 23 against. Montreal 29.17, 22.67 against. The Rough Riders have played very well against the Alouettes in recent years. 5-2 in the last 7 meetings, covering the 3.5, of course, in all 5 games they won. And 4 of the 5 went over 49.5. I am on the Rough Riders plus 3.5, and I'm also on the Rough Riders money line, which I locked in today. I like the Riders here to win this game as a pretty big dog. Being 3.5 point favorites, being 3.5 point dogs is just a bit too much for me. With both teams dealing with injuries on offense. So I mentioned Fajardo for the Alouettes. Rough Riders will be without one of their wide receivers, as well as AJ Ouellette, their main running back. Alouettes will be out without one of their wide receivers. So there's offensive injuries on both teams. I want to take the over. Of course, both teams trending towards the over, both teams over in the past. But with the injuries we have on offense, both teams 5-1 here. I think we get a very close game. So I'm on Saskatchewan plus 3.5 and also Saskatchewan money line plus 175 in this game. I think they get the upset victory in Montreal. Of course, 5-2 in the last 7 meetings, and that was with a lot weaker of a Saskatchewan team. This is the best they've been in years. So I like the Rough Riders here. Player props, I'll be real quick. I would lean with Patterson over in his passing yards because of Ouellette being out. Obviously, Frankie Hickson will make his debut here this season. I believe his CFL debut in general. But Patterson, I think, will pass a bit more. He's has at least 260.5 passing yards in back-to-back games. I believe his passing yards prop is 230 something. So if I was going to play something, it would be Patterson receiving yards over. Emelis has been doing very good for the Rough Riders. You could potentially look at his receiving yards over. And then for Montreal, no props. Saskatchewan, the best team against the run in the CFL. So I wouldn't look at Fletcher. Caleb Evans did not look good when he did take over for Fajardo in the last start. So pass there. And these two wide receivers both hitting their receiving props, but that was with Fajardo. Now they have to have Caleb Evans, which is a step down, in my opinion. So ultimately, Saskatchewan plus 3.5 and Saskatchewan money line here in the CFL game. Picks Parlays exclusive plays of the day. There are none. I gave out my CFL play. My premium play in baseball is obviously already started, so no plays to purchase today. That's all good. We'll have some more tomorrow. And thank you everyone for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hoping to keep the winning streak going again here today. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. It really helps out. And we'll see you guys on tomorrow's show. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, hold on a second. I'm still here. I forgot to do the recap, but I remembered before I hit. Okay, going back here. Forgot to do the recap, which I always like to do. So of course I want to do it here before. Just about to click end video, but no. Profile. Well, those games are obviously playing. Vladdy home run plus 525. Vladdy over 1.5 bases plus 112. Tyler Fitzgerald home run plus 600. Tyler Fitzgerald over 1.5 bases plus 175. And then Rough Riders money line plus 175 and Rough Riders plus 3.5 minus 105 are my plays for today. So again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.